In the realm of choice and freedom, my menthol cigarettes stand as a bastion of my autonomy, and anatomy. They are not merely just smokes. They are whispers of liberty, a defiant flame in the dark, an attempt to seize them is to challenge the essence of individuality. I stand not in the defense of a habit, no sir, no, but in an unyielding testament of my personal freedom. Let this be clear. As long as the stars grant us light, my choice remains inviolable. These menthols are more than just preference. They are a declaration of my right, my voice unextinguished. You will not take my menthols, and I will stop you at all costs. It's the Derek O'Shea Show. The show that I look up all the most important stories and clips of the hour. Hang out with us a little bit. Welcome to the revolution. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Good morning, Willie. How are we feeling this lovely day? And if you're interested in a Zima mug, feel free to do so. That music's a bit much, mate. Really sad stuff coming right out of the White House. The White House is taking away menthol cigarettes. And if I thought Joe Biden couldn't mess up the black vote anymore, I don't know what he could do. Outlaw hip-hop. Outlaw purple drink. Next, it's just the Biden administration is preparing soon to finalize highly anticipated standards targeting menthol cigarettes, which are kind of yummy. Despite heavy opposition from small businesses, civil rights, and law enforcement and free market groups. I just love this. The government is always saying, "Don't tell me what to do with my body, my choice." But then they're like, "Hey, but you're not allowed to be smoking that. You can't put that in the lungs." And that's always been the debate about marijuana as well. It's like, you can't tell me what to do with what I want to do. If I want to do something, I should be allowed to do something. I don't need mommy, daddy, government tell me what to do in life. Whether it's like good for you or bad for you or bad for society or good for society, it's more about freedom in my eyes. The FDA has reportedly missing target dates to finalize the preppers. They're trying to ban this. And the cigarette community is not going to have it. In fact, I think they're going to have a lot of mad people on their hands. The White House closed the finalized deal of menthol cigarette regulations despite broad opposition. Oh, you going to come hang out with us? I have 3 mugs. I will get a new edition when released. Hey, Willie, thank you, man. I appreciate you, guy. The Biden administration is preparing too soon. I really appreciate that. Too soon to finalize highly anticipated standards for menthols. Oh, my menthol cigarettes, man. We're done for. We're done for as a society. I don't know if you guys remember, but last night we went through a whole thing with Tucker Carlson, talking about with MTG, talking about Mike Johnson. And this morning I woke up to a tweet from MTG about Mike Johnson. I think this tweet is very interesting. Before Mike Johnson became Speaker of the House, he voted no, sending a mere $300 million to Ukraine. But now that he's become Speaker, he says it's his top priority to send $60 billion to Ukraine. What changed? Who is Mike Johnson working for? It's clearly not the American people. And that's what we're all confused about. Why, when these politicians get into power, do they immediately change? Why do they immediately change? Let's check some of these hits. We need an explanation from Speaker Mike Johnson why he flipped on Ukraine. Is he being blackmailed? You know, this whole blackmail thing, I don't know if I agree with this. I think this is not a healthy, a logical take to take. And maybe it is true. Maybe he is being blackmailed. But I think that excuses him again. I think it excuses his actions, that he is just a bystander and he's doing it because he's blackmailed. Or maybe, like I always say, I think this is who he always has been. And now that he's in power, this is who he is. It's like all these politicians know what to say and to tickle your ears in order for you to go, oh, this is one of the good ones. And then immediately when they get in power, especially if they're in a district where they feel incredibly secure, they feel like no one's going to vote them out because you're not going to choose the Democrat. It's kind of like Lindsey Graham. The same thing happens with Lindsey Graham in South Carolina. Everyone hates Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, but then there's nobody to challenge him. And then the people that are challenging him, people don't like research enough, and they just continue to vote for the same person over and over again, despite the outcome being horrible. Willie thinks it's a WEF puppet. Probably. I mean, or just like, you know, the uniparty puppet. Like, what? The idea of thinking 300 million, maybe he just said no to 300 million because it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? He was like, no, that number needs to go north of 59 billion and 700. You know what I mean? Just had to do a little early morning quick math there. Valerie, what's up, dude? Israel he is working for, open secret. What does Israel have to do with Ukraine, though? I guess it all coincides together all at the same time. We've always also been talking about how crime is kind of going up. There's just this weird democratic narrative coming out about how crime statistics are down. Therefore, the right-wing podcasters or talking heads are lying to you, and it's just a talking point. And it's even crazier that you see people like the New York City mayor, Eric Adams, going around saying that this is wrong. People in the subways are feeling safe. But your eyes does deceive you. Imagine being a New Yorker and going to the New York City subway and seeing the National Guard checking you in and saying, you know, the crime is actually down. Yeah, of course it's down now because the National Guard is in the subway system. Yeah, because the police state has fully taken over because it's become so unsafe that now the government has to make huge improvements by sending in the military to stop things. And not only that, is that they are not going to calls anymore. Remember, like a lot of these cities don't have enough cops to go to these calls anymore. And a lot of these criminals that get locked up are released immediately by the DA on bail bonds. And so they're not even, and then their court date is pushed down along. And now we have stuff like this happening where more and more citizens are starting to take arms or justice in their own hands because they don't trust the government anymore. Moment NYC man fed up with porch pirates lures thief with fake parcels. Porch pirates are an insane thing. The fact that people just go around driving around looking for packages and stealing, like, what are you stealing? Soap? You're just hoping for a TV? I like that this man is old school with the bat in his hand. That's like my dad. That's like a dad move. Keeping that bat under the bed. Because I had a libtard dad and he didn't have a gun. He had a bat, though. As if the porch pirate has a shirt that says excellence. He's starting his new alpha male podcast. Excellence. Do you want products like me? Go to Porches, every single porch around your neighborhood, and steal as much as you want. He has 800,000 views of just stopping this guy. $10 says that New York City is actually going to put this guy in jail for attacking him. Even though this guy's locked up. We'll see. We'll see what happens in court. Be careful. of putting justice in your own hands. You could end up in jail. It's just something to think about. Newport menthol, the flavor of the hood. That's what I'm saying, dude. What? Joe Biden has given up on the black vote that much. He's like, we're going after menthols. Next, we're going after purple drink because of the chemicals within it. We don't know what's in purple drink, and we're scared that that it's going to ruin society. Make your wiener grow 10 times larger than it's supposed to be. This is hilarious. Remember the whole Easter thing, the Trans Day of Visibility? Well, Trump goes out on a rally the other day, and I was watching this rally live, and he says, let's do a Christian Day of Visibility, which when I hear him say that, my immediate thought is like, yeah, why don't we have something like that? And then the left will be like, oh, you have Christmas and Easter, you have Christmas and Easter. But that is hilarious that the left is triggered by that statement. Oh, you don't need to have Christian Day of Visibility. What is that, white supremacist day? And here's MSNBC, just absolutely triggered at the idea of a Christian Day of Visibility. And the tantrum is also a warning. Smash a like. Thanks, Willie. I just love how triggered these people are. It's also a serious warning. The former president linking of Christian visibility in the election is similarly deliberate. I bet it's going to somehow be linked to Hitler. And the entire month of May for people's... Yes. Oh, yeah. At the campaign rally in Wisconsin, yes, I was watching this. What the hell is Biden thinking when he declared Easter Sunday Trans Visibility Day? Trans Visibility Day, Trump complained. Too loud boos in the audience. Total disrespect for Christians. The former president admitted Biden had observed the Trans Day of Visibility, blah, 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 blah. He is dangerously priming his voters for a repeat of his multi-pronged. I love how they use as aggressive as language as possible. Multi-pronged assault on the 2020 election results. What? Trans Day of Visibility, Christian Day of Visibility, 2020 election. It's logic. You know, when you're triggered by everything he does, everything just starts to make more sense. You know, they always say like the right is like these right-wing extremist conspiracy theorist people that are just in their basements, their mom's basements in the middle of the country, just with like newspaper articles and strings attached to things, and they're drinking coffee and smoking menthol and cigarettes, and they're just like just strung out and cracked out, and they're just like January 6th. If we could just do, these people are worse. They're like, this is educational. This is highbrow content. The assault on 2020 elections is the same as a Christian Day of Visibility. Okay. Valerie says, according to Jill Biden, it is linked to Adolf. She said trans stuff was popular in the night. Yes, because of the books burning or whatever. In the last few days, many GOP lawmakers, conservatives have joined the ginned up anger. The ginned up anger that trans people are getting special rights and recognition at the expense of Christians. Yes, because you wouldn't do it to any other religion out there. Hey, on Rumble, what's up? But in linking Christian visibility to the election results, Trump is doing more than feeding into his base's outrage of the week. Yeah, and MSNBC isn't feeding into their base's outrage by doing exactly what they tell Trump is doing. He is dangerously priming his voters for a repeat of his multi-pronged assault. Oh, that's the quote they pulled out. They're like, I'm just imagining this this leftist reporter just like typing multi-pronged assault. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is good. Multi-pronged. Okay, I'm going to clip that. I'm going to put it in the middle of the article so people like see that. It's very tension grabbing, pulls you in. Oh, That's a good quote. Multi-pronged. I've never used that word before. I'm excited. And the peaceful transfer of power. After all, in the minds of Trump loyalists, if Christians, that is, Trump's loyal base of white evangelical Christians, show up on election day is unprecedented numbers, how could he lose? The crack up of the coincidence. I love how the left is still going with that. As if Biden didn't put out a statement saying, I hereby, Joseph R. Biden, with the president power of the United States of America, declared March 31st. They're still going with this. They're so good at lying. They just lie all the time. It's so boring. But you know what? Oh, here we go. Another huge quote. Maybe this is what we should just focus on. They're what they deem as huge, incredible quotes. Not only are white evangelicals Trump's most dependable voters, and that scares me just reading that, they're also are the only religious demographic of whom a majority believes Trump's stolen election lie. Oh my God. What does that mean? It means... Are Nazis in the room with her right now? Yes, they're in the room with her. They're putting a gun to her head and making her write this article. God. Trump linking of Christian visibility in the election is similarly deliberate. In his speech, Trump appeared to equate Christian visibility with big evangelical turnout in the polls, but also given the history of support in the election lies. God. Okay, always remember, the last paragraph is the conclusion. It's the important part. It's the part that we all are supposed to just have a take-home portion, and we're all supposed to actually figure out what's going on the top and the bottom. Trump's declaration of Election Day as Christian Visibility Day is more than getting out to vote technique. It's a blaring alarm warning us that he could use his base persecution complex. Yes. Yes, the right wing is actually the ones with the victimhood complex, because they were so bold to say that you're abusing me. God, the left is seriously like a spouse that abuses another spouse, and then it's like, you are having a victim complex. Just because I hit you in the middle of the night doesn't mean you have to cry about it on social media. And yes, we change the definitions, and yes, we drive you guys crazy, and yes, we put you send our DOJ after you, but you need to just deal with it. Stop complaining about it. Quit bitching about it, right-wingers. God, the basis persecution complex. It's like a disorder. About the radical left. Valerie says, strange, our Russian textbooks now says it was stolen science. Yeah, it's because you guys are all misinformed. It's a blaring warning against us that he could use his base persecution complex about the radical left. Yes. And their messianic zeal for him. The messianic zeal for him? Ugh. I don't think Trump is my savior. I'm sorry. For him to claim that any election loss may be rigged, not only against him, but against them too. January 6th showed. Okay, the final point. The last sentence. The one sentence that ties everything together, that makes you go, wow, I'm so glad I took my time out of my life to read this article. As January 6th showed, that zeal can easily turn into terrible consequences for the country. Whoa. What is this article about? It's about fear, porn, and how sexy it is. It's sexier than Joel Scarborough and this blonde woman. It's hot. It gets the people going. Trump is evil personified in sheep's clothing. God. This is their top news story, by the way. This was on the if you go to MSNBC.com, it was number one. An opinion piece was number one in their news. And you wonder why their base is insane. An opinion piece. That's what MSNBC is, though, right? They're not real. They're like Trans Day of Visibility. Let's keep the Trans Day of Visibility thing going. Last night, Persecution Multi-Pronged Complex. Yeah, that's what I should. That's the new name of this. The new name of this podcast. Persecution Multi-Pronged Complex. God, say that 10 times fast. Let's keep the Trans Day of Visibility going, though. So last night, TDS, The Daily Show, has decided that they're going to double down about this whole Easter Trans Day of Visibility thing and start mocking Christians and start saying that Jesus is basically trans. The joke is kind of funny, but also it just gets crazy towards the end. Okay, listen.
Yes, by total coincidence.
And I have to stop this every few seconds, so just so you know, because The Daily Show and Comedy Central are so cringe about copyright strikes. It's not even funny.
Trans Visibility Day happened to fall on Easter this year.
It happened. It happened to fall on Easter. It wasn't that Joe Biden put it on and made a declaration and shared it with everyone in order to fire up his base. It just happened to fall on it. Thank you.
Which seemed like, I don't know, a good fit to me. I mean, Jesus did identify as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh. Jesus had 3 pronouns. Pass it along. It's funny. I see what you did there. Isn't that nice? Okay, keep going.
Live your truth, queen.
Okay. Now you cross the line. Okay, we're going to smack you. Isn't it crazy that these leftards are so happy to make fun of Christians? You ask them to do that for Islam, they're like, yeah, right. Freaking jihad, dude. I would never be caught dead making fun of people of a different faith other than Christianity. Ever. That's why they're so emboldened by this, by the way. And watch how she starts to get like crazy towards the end. Pause for clapping. Yes, what a great point.
Now, you wouldn't think that Easter falling on a holiday that's been on March 31st for 15 years would be that big of a deal. But conservatives process this like a child meeting the Easter bunny. Yes,
because you would rather us process it the same way Islamic people would? Is that what you want? We're not dangerous enough for you? Is that what it is? Is that what you want? You want to be scared out of your mind to make fun of Christians? God. I just wish they were fair with all religion. That's all I wish. No way. No, because it's the Christian right that they're most afraid of, but yet they're not afraid of because they're so quick to make fun of it and quick to make fun of the religion. How can you be afraid of people of the right so much because of whatever multi-pronged complex that they come up with in their head, but yet are so quick to make fun of them? It doesn't make sense. Usually when you're afraid of your life and you're scared out of your mind of somebody, you're not going to actually make fun of them because you're scared. So this is why I think they're all liars, and they are not actually scared of the right. They're actually pity you, mock you, and think little of you. That's what I think. So anytime they start talking about fear porn about the right, just know that they're lying. But Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, that was kind of funny with pronouns. But then you said yes, Queen. That's it. Anyone hear the Trans Day before the past Sunday? No one's heard of it. No one celebrated it. No one even knew it existed. And so that's why he put out that whole tweet. Willie says, time to bring All Saints Day back and other Christian holidays. How dare you? Don't you dare say Merry Christmas in my presence. You know how that triggers me. Say Happy Holidays. The Daily Show without Jon Stewart is trash. Even with Jon Stewart now, it's still trash, but it's not as bad. And my brain hurts for comedy. I'm not saying like conservative comedy is better, because there's a lot of it that's cringe, like Lady Ballers was crap. But like, I like the comedy that blurs the lines, just cuts through the tension. And here we go. Speaking of comedy, apparently, and this is not me saying it, this is MSNBC saying it, Trump is literally dismantling everything that Martin Luther King Jr. has done. 56 years later, Donald Trump is destroying Martin Luther King Jr. in MSNBC's eyes. I don't know how that happens. So we're going to figure out this together. But when you're talking about race-based politics, who better than to send this man in? Let him come in. I miss the thicker version of him, by the way. I wonder if he's mad about menthol cigarettes being banned. Let's go.
You know, Mike Barnacle, it is just a side note here on how much has changed and how Donald Trump has worked to reverse so many of the gains made since Martin Luther King's passing. We showed that extraordinary.
What does that even mean? You just say these things. I love how these people just say things. He's literally dismantling all the gains that Martin Luther King Jr. did. If I was on the other side of the aisle, I'd be like what? I don't know. I'm just saying these things because it triggers my base. It creates an emotional stimulus and a response that makes them go, oh, I am triggered by this. You're right. I'm outraged. I feel like sometimes these corporate media hacks will just ask a question in a certain way in order to get their guest emotionally stimulated so they can keep on the same level of outrage. He's like came in smiling. He's like, I'm happy to be here. He's dismantling Martin Luther King Jr. Now I'm mad. Ask me the question.
Clip of Bobby Kennedy. And here we are 56 years later.
Come on.
Guy we both know.
Right.
Bobby Kennedy Jr.
Wow.
Running.
Can you speak any slower?
As basically cover for Donald Trump.
Holy.
It's not a coincidence that some of Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s biggest contributors are Donald Trump's biggest contributors. So here we are all these years later.
That's the question.
Just this twisted path has led us to where somebody named Kennedy is putting himself in a position to elect Donald Trump president, a guy whose life now is dedicated to reversing the work of Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy.
Dog-faced pony soldier.
I almost thought we weren't going to make that question. I thought I was going to give up. Yep. And God, how do people watch this show? I thought I was going to give up and throw in the towel, tell my wife I'm done with this whole thing. What are your thoughts? God. It's just so dumb. We're just so over emotional that I can't even get the words out of my mouth. I can't take 2 seconds to breathe, let alone have a congruent thought that doesn't require pauses every 5 seconds in between each word for dramatic effect. I'm completely outraged. They make it sound like that's a bad thing. Yeah. How dare you? Yeah, Donald Trump's just bringing back being married to one woman. Victor Spots just lost her house. She's a U.S. Congresswoman. That's crazy. MLK Day. Where's Trump Day? Yeah, where's Trump Visibility Day? I will not rest until we have Trump Visibility Day here. Trump Visibility Day. I need to make those t-shirts. Trump Visibility Day. God. God. I want to be as triggered as these people sometimes. I think that's my biggest problem in this political sphere of podcasting. I don't get out as outraged as some of these other podcasters. And I wish I could. I wish I could just enter that zone of just like, Donald Trump is taking over America and ruining everything that we have. Right? Speaking of ruining everything we have, it turns out some migrants are bringing in diseases that we've gotten rid of for a long time. And I know the left is like making fun of people on the right saying they're anti-vaxxers, but maybe some of these illegal immigrants are also anti-vaxxers. Oh my God. They're bringing in old diseases. Like in Chicago right now, tuberculosis is back on the map. Yay! Remember we spent years upon years upon years about these people saying that you're literally killing grandma if you don't get the vax. You're going to kill grandma. I swear. I'm not joking. Get the vax. It's not, you're protecting me, not protecting you. Now, they've created the situation that all these illegal immigrants are coming in and they've lived in these little tight, close communities and they're spreading diseases. And now we have to have a conversation about people from other countries spreading diseases, which to them is going to trigger them saying, oh my God, you're totally xenophobic just because they didn't have access to healthcare like they do here. Oh, it's amazing how the tables have turned. Now you guys don't care about people bringing in diseases because before you did. Make leprosy great again. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, get those t-shirts going. Here we go. Chicago, go.
And that is putting people, families, and communities at risk.
You know, Raymond, I've been so perplexed because, you know, I've been out there reporting, talking with the folks. They're upset. I know your district. And the people there are minorities. They're also, you got immigrants there as well. But it seems like the mayor has tried to paint those that are critical of this sanctuary city policy and not having a response to the people there as anti-immigrant.
Without question, we have seen where efforts by this administration to put migrants on a toxic dump site were labeled as racist when people like myself and community opposed it, saying it wasn't healthy for them or for the neighborhood to have all of that dust kicked up. Even when I brought this issue about tuberculosis, measles, and mumps to the forefront, I've been told that I'm anti-immigrant and xenophobic, even though I'm the great-grandson of immigrants. So they can gaslight all they want, but at a certain point, the truth is going to come out, and we're seeing it come out slowly and steadily now, as we saw with the measles and as we're seeing now with tuberculosis.
Real quickly, because I only got 15 seconds, Raymond, do you think people in Chicago, because of this issue, because I haven't seen people at these city council meetings like this in a long time, do you think they're going to start voting differently just based on this issue alone?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Americans are fed up with seeing themselves being leapfrogged over by those coming to this country just to get service and support. And I think that at some point, this is going to drive a wedge, particularly for the Democratic Party, my party, with our core base of African American and Latino voters who feel as though we have not invested in them the way we're investing in these migrant asylum seekers.
Such a valid point. A man of the people, Raymond Lopez.
Yes. Yes. It's almost like if you bring in millions of people undocumented from other countries, and not just South America, but around the world, they bring in their own crap. They're not just good people looking for work. They also have crap that they're dealing with. Welcome to America. It's about to get fun, especially in some of these major cities. I would consider getting out of the cities. Migrant asylum seekers, gaslight of the century. It truly is. I'm an asylum seeker of what? You know, I'm an asylum seeker. Trump is making history, not the Biden administration. Right. Well, Biden administration is making history in terrible fashion. Have you guys seen this video? This might be single-handedly the best thing Daily Wire has done. A Matt Walsh show where he's the judge. Matt Walsh is the best thing on Daily Wire, period. I don't care what anyone says. Later Ballers was trash, but everything Matt Walsh has done has been good, and this looks just as good. Let's see. I haven't seen this yet.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Walsh. Please be seated. Ms. Goldstein, Mr. Bentley, Mr. Outerbridge, Ms. Spicer,
Your Honor.
Mr. Barney,
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Singh.
Yeah. At 30,000 feet, my lips exploded.
Why would I pay rent to somebody who had sex with my sister?
A dog bit my finger.
He's allergic, like the grass.
If he didn't want me to drive the car, he would have took the key and had it with him.
Has anyone told you you're the worst negotiator that's ever lived? I've never been more annoyed than I am in this moment. Not even close. That does it. Please get the hell out of my courtroom.
Okay, you know, for a guy that thinks that counseling and therapy is stupid, he sure does like listening to people's problems. Oh, this is too good. I hope this is great. Until Ben Shapiro fires Matt Walsh. Dude, if Ben Shapiro had the cojones to fire Matt Walsh, I think that would ruin Daily Wire. I think they would be done for. I truly, I mean, Candace Owens was stupid enough, but Matt Walsh, who are people going to listen to? Ben Shapiro? And then what? Matt Knowles? Michael Knowles or whatever? No. Andrew Clavin? Nah. That other girl that looks like Ben Shapiro? What's her name? I forget her name. Brett Cooper? No. Like, who? Brett Cooper's not for adults. I mean, she has some great stuff, but her stuff is so, like, cut quick and thrown together. I feel like I'm watching Mr. Beast video. Anybody over the age of 30 is like, too overstimulated. And I hate the fact that she pretends like she's a at-home streamer. It's like that's so cringe to me. But Matt Walsh is it. Love him or hate him. That's why he's the best on there. It's about to turn into a third world. Matt Walsh is against aid to Israel. LOL. He's already done for soon. We'll see. I know. I've seen that Ben Shapiro talking about him of like, Matt Walsh. He thinks differently, and we're okay with that at the Daily Wire. So we'll see how long that lasts for. Mr. Beast is now sold at Ollie's. Is it his candy sold at Ollie's? What's Ollie's? I don't know what Ollie's is. Is that a grocery store? I haven't even had his candy. I've heard it's good. They talk too fast on the Daily Wire, says Willie. Sometimes I talk fast, but I don't talk like Ben Shapiro. They do talk fast, don't they? Have you ever listened to Ben Shapiro on 1.5 speed or 2 speed? It's the most cracked out thing you could ever listen to in your entire life. Let me just pull that up. Ben Shapiro. Let's see here. When I wake up. Let's see. Quality, playback speed. Let's do 2x. Okay. A little 2x speed. Here we go. I'm scared. Okay.
The divided state was flagged. And the trailer for episode 2 of my new series, The Divided State, was flagged and essentially banned by this platform due to us violating their policy restrictions. So our producers decided to take the list of violations we received from the platform and create a new trailer. That would be what this platform would consider compliant. I just received that trailer. I'm going to play it for you right now and react in real time. This is, in fact, the first time I am seeing the version of the trailer that is apparently compliant with the rules.
My own child was poisoned. My son at 25. It was. Disease leading cause for Americans 18.
This is insane.
The city is supposed to put Americans first.
Okay, so just pause it for a second. We're literally not allowed to show you anything. We're not allowed to show you anything. So apparently, in order to comply with the rules here, we're not allowed to talk about the thing that people are doing. We're not allowed to talk what happens to them after they do it. We're not allowed to show mothers talking about what happened to their kids because of it. We're not allowed to show you anything. My goodness. Wow. I mean, it's like someone high up in the White House or people who work with that person might be like on the mute button here. We went to Kensington, a neighborhood of Philadelphia, to check out the that F word there is not a curse word, by the way.
This is Ground Zero.
Dude, this just changed my whole mind for Ben Shapiro. I love listening to him this fast. I had no idea it was this good.
The epidemic, the homeless epidemic.
In the heart of America's towns and cities, a silent crisis leaves a trail of devastation in its wake. Joe and his have not done anything to protect American citizens. It's absurd. I bring you the real-world consequences of one of the most destructive crises in American history.
I'm sorry. That just tickled me. Warp speed so low. He does love talking fast. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. I will see you guys later tonight for the same show, the same hangout time. I will go live at the regular time this time. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks so much. If you guys don't mind dropping a like and putting a comment below at the video as a way to support me and help me out and help grow, it helps the algorithms out. I would greatly appreciate that, guys, if you don't mind. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.